thought about getting my hat and hitting that door. Y'all ain't right. If you're happy and you know it, say amen. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. To the pastor, first lady, thank you all for letting me come home. And I want to acknowledge my mother. Amen. Got to have a birthday in a week or two. And I'm going to jump right into this word and see if I can get out of here in 7 minutes. I am given the task of speaking to you from Matthew, the 27th chapter, 46th verse, and Mark, the 15th chapter, the 34th verse. Yes. Around the 9th hour, Jesus shouted in a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, which is, my God, why have you forsaken me? And in Mark, it records, and at the 9th hour, Jesus shouted in a loud voice, Eli, Eli, sabachthani, which is translated, my God, why have you forsaken me? Yes. But to understand really what was taking place at that time, we have to go back to Psalms, the 22nd chapter, the first verse, second verse. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me? So far from the words of my groaning. Oh my God, I cry out by day, but you do not answer by night, and am not silent. So in quoting Psalms, the 22nd chapter, Jesus declared his fulfillment of the prophecy in both its agony and its exaltation. The psalm goes on to say, you have answered me. I will declare your name to my brethren. In the midst of the congregation, I will praise you. Save me from the lion's mouth. From the horns of the wild oxen, you answer me. I will tell of your name to my brethren. In the midst of the assembly, I will praise you. I'd like to use for a subject, appreciate the darkness. All right. Appreciate the darkness. You can cut the lights on. To give you an understanding of what darkness is, when the lights come back on, what did you have to do? You had to readjust your sight. Your pupils become dilated. Things change when it gets dark. But I'm here to tell you that God dwells in thick darkness. God dwells in thick darkness. I'm reminded of a song by a group called War. They sang the song, I was slipping into the dark. Some of you all might be too young to remember that song. I was slipping into the darkness. Maybe you never slipped into the darkness. All you good and holy folks, you never done anything wrong, and you never slipped into the darkness. You know, as a child, when it got dark, for some reason, grown folks used to tell us the boogeyman was coming. And so we learned as a child to be scared of the dark. But by the time I leave in about 5 or 6 more minutes, I hope you get an understanding that the darkness is not a bad thing. As an adult, because of what we learned as a child, we come up and we have these preconceived notions about what darkness is. So we associate darkness with danger, devilment, hidden things, sneakiness. Maybe I'm by myself and none of y'all never snuck around in the dark. You didn't sit at home and wait until it got dark before you left and went over to your side piece house. you can't say amen, say ouch. That's a whole nother subject. Darkness in both the Old Testament and the New Testament is an evocative word. If light symbolizes God, darkness connotates that everything that is dark is anti-God, wicked. It deals with judgment and death and salvation. Salvation brings to light those things that are in the dark. And so for us, although darkness is opaque to man, opaque. That word opaque means not transparent or translucent, impenetrable to light, not allowing light to pass through. Even though it's opaque to us, God can veil himself in darkness and at moments of great revelation. And so what we have to understand is that God rules the darkness. The biblical view of darkness and light offers a unique contrast. And there is no thought that darkness is equal in power to God's light. Because when we think of darkness, we don't think of darkness being equal to light. But we fail to understand and realize that he controls the darkness and he controls the light. He running everything. And so the absolute sovereign God rules over the darkness and the powers of evil. This is evident in several ways. God knows the darkness. He knows where it is. God knows what the darkness contains. God rules over the darkness because he created it. God uses the darkness for his own purposes, to hide himself from the sight of man, and to bring his judgment on evildoers and evil nations and false prophets. Finally, God rules over the darkness. And when I say he rules over the darkness, you know, we fail to realize and understand that there are certain things that bypass us. We think that when something negative happens to us, it's because we did something wrong. Well, that's not the case. Sometimes he allows some things to happen in our life that we don't necessarily want, but it's for his good. All things work together for the good of them that love the Lord, called according to his purpose. And so his son was called according to his purpose. And so when we look at what Jesus went through in this passage, we deal with the fact that he felt abandoned. That was the crux of the matter. That's what it was all about. It was about abandonment. You know, in your darkest hours, sometimes you feel all alone. It is nothing like feeling alone and everyone has left you and abandoned you. And so when Jesus hung on the cross there and he said, Father, where are you? Where are you? Eli, sabachthani. He was calling in agony and in pain because he felt that his father had left him. And see, what we fail to realize and understand, this was the first time that he experienced separation from his father. He was suffering from what I call separation anxiety. You know, the first time that a child is separated from their mother when they go to kindergarten, what do? Sometimes they cry and they reach out. Don't leave me. Don't leave me, because that anxiety that they have from being separated from their parent. And so this was the first time that Jesus experienced separation from his father, abandonment. Feels like the end of the world. And you know, I'm reminded of a song by Jeffrey Osborne. Said it takes separation to bring appreciation. You know, and it goes on in the song when he says, concentrate on you. And then it goes on in the song and says, that was our love call. And so sometimes, you know, you really don't appreciate what you have until you've been separated from it. I got a couple of more minutes. You know, I used to, when my wife would go out of town, I used to say, whoa, I got the house to myself. I can walk around in my underwear. I can throw stuff here and there. I ain't got to pick nothing up. I can just be me, watch TV, eat, don't wash no dishes, I'm good. But right before she get ready to come home, I start cleaning up. Maybe I'm by myself, you know. Yeah. And so 2-3 days and I'm good. But the last time she went out of town, she was out of town for about 5 days. And I suffered from separation anxiety. It reminded me that you know, sometimes if you slip into the darkness and you really think about all he's done for you, you ought to be suffering from separation anxiety. I don't want to do nothing that causes me to be separated from my Father. And normally 3 days go by and I'm good, but 4 days and 5 days I knew she was going to be gone. But something about this time that she left, I was suffering on the first day. Because you know, when you get close to somebody, we've been together 32 years, when you establish a relationship and you get a good understanding, it's something about, I'm talking about the relationship with my Father. I'm talking about the relationship that he had with his son. It's something about that relationship. When separation comes, it brings about an anxiety. And so as I move to the close, I wrestled with some things that God put in my spirit. He said, these numbers that mean something. 369 blew my mind. And then he told me, he said, well, it blew your mind, but 369, it was his time. See, when you start looking at it, it was the 3rd hour when they crucified him. It was the 6th hour when darkness fell. That 6th hour represented weakness in man. He had to experience the weakness of man. He had to experience the separation of man because of the sin of Adam and Eve. We were separated from our Father. He had to experience that. And you know, you can't talk to nobody about something that you don't know nothing about. If you ain't experienced it. You trying to talk to these kids about what they doing in school. I told them, look son, you in my office now because you had weed on you. I done smoked enough dope for everybody in the building. You can't talk to me about something that you have not experienced for yourself. And understand, Jesus had to experience separation. He had to experience weakness. He had to experience this pain. And see, the unique thing about the 9th hour, he died. His mission was accomplished. If you add the 3 and the 6, it's 9. If you add the 3 and the 9, it's 12. 12 is one of the 4 numbers that are complete in the Bible. You got 3, 7, 10, and 12. And it's not just complete, it's divine completeness. And so when it's all said and done, you got to learn how to appreciate the darkness. See, when you're in the darkness, sometimes you got to close your eyes, you got to pay attention. Because if you got the right relationship, he begins to start speaking to you. And sometimes he'll order your steps and direct your paths and send you down the road you never thought about going down. Maybe I'm by myself. You might be sitting in the courtroom and you might be facing some time. But he'll tell you what to do. Because I know he's a lawyer in the courtroom. I experienced it for myself. He's a doctor in the sick room. He healed my body. I experienced it for myself. Oh, good God Almighty. Appreciate the dog.